show is brought to you by the Black Business School, the #1 black wealth institution on earth. To learn how to invest in the stock market for free, please visit firstshareofstock.com. That's firstshareofstock.com, and that link is at the top line of the description box. You got my personal recommendation on that, firstshareofstock.com.
Back and forth, right? Well, NBA Youngboy, like you said, fresh out of jail somewhere in Utah on house arrest, has a handful of hundreds, and he puts clear there, like you guys can see right there on carpet. Not only does it say stay safe, but it gets better. Oh God, he writes out, you niggas gon' die.
Man, smart man.
Man, you know what? And shout out to Double A, man. We had that good brother on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking very highly of NBA Youngboy on how he's not as dumb as a lot of people think and how he is perceived. And I believed him at the time. But when you see shit like this in the circumstances that he's currently in, it clearly shows you that he has not learned his lesson or he does not care. What you think, though?
You know, one part of it, it's a kind of like, unfortunately, it's a part of this hip-hop culture now, the dissing, the going back and forth. Even when people die now, people talking about they smoking these person stick and going. But when you're under the supervision of the law, when you're sitting home on house arrest, you know what I mean, pending cases and charges, you don't make mistakes like this one. Because if you're really looking at it, if they really, you know, if the prosecutor and the judge, they really wanted to be, you know, assholes and pricks, what they could do is violate you now and say, okay, you just threatened somebody, you know what I mean? And they already know it. They know who's going back and forth with hip hop. They're not stupid. This is one guy, I think his name is Bruce Rivers. He has a YouTube channel. He's actually an attorney, and he'll sit there and he'll listen, you know, to all like the gangster lyrics, and he'll pretty much break them down like in layman's white boy terms and shit. But he's coming from, this is the same way that the feds are looking at it. The same way that the prosecution's looking at it. They have somebody like him, if they can't, interpreters, and they're sitting down and they're like, okay, this is what this means. Oh, he's talking about the glizzy, he's talking about the this, that, and the third. Okay, this is what this translates to. They probably got that shit on the bulletin board. Like glizzy means Glock. This means this. This
ain't
means
no code
this.
no more. They got it all.
Right. So it's just like, you know, self-snitching. Self-snitching has to be called out. Now, a lot of people don't like that. They say, oh, how are you going to say that? A lot of people told on themselves. Nobody ever had to go tell. Never had to be no rat or nothing. That was a weasel. You the rat. You the rat that's telling on your damn self. You're making it too easy for these dudes. You got to be smarter. Nobody's going to really tell you like that. You know what I mean? Because everybody just want to sugarcoat it. But you can't be the rat that's going to tell on yourself, get yourself locked up. You got to be smarter.
Please be smarter. You brothers got kids. You brothers got other obligations. You brothers got people that looked upon you to take care of y'all business. Y'all all lost people in this game due to violence, and y'all only here beefing on social media. Youngboy sitting in a situation where he ain't even all the way out of jail yet, and he got you niggas gonna die about $10,000 worth of hundreds. It's unbelievable.
They can violate him if they wanted to.
It's like what is going on to where you can't get off of this shit enough to just go, like, the competition aspect of hip-hop that we love, we ain't gonna lie, we ain't gonna deny it, is one thing. But to sit back and go, you niggas gonna die, and knowing that is I don't take it as a light threat. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna go all the way there. But we know that a lot of these cats that's talking about what they talking about, a lot of them mean it. A lot of them are fake, but a lot of these brothers mean it. And it's crazy, man, for him to do that. And I don't know who's allowed to be in that house with him in Utah, or who's allowed to be in his corner. For him to have the free will to be able to do something wild like that, man, it's. Whew.
And this takes me to the next topic, Sam, man. I want to get your opinion on this. I'm eager to hear what you got to say about, you know, this. Now, Jay-Z is spearheading a group of A-list, you know, celebrities and artists pushing to ban rap lyrics from being used against individuals and artists in court. Now he has Meek Mill, Big Sean, Fat Joe, Yo Gotti, Killer Mike, as well as R&B singers Kelly Rowland and Robin Thicke. They're supporting a proposed New York law that seeks to prevent prosecutors from using rap songs as evidence of alleged crime, and the bill will be called Rap on Trial, from an individual that actually wrote a book called Rap Music on Trial. What's your thoughts?
I don't know, man. On the surface, it sounds good. It looks good. Is it just in the state of New York, or will this be nationwide?
They wanted to start in New York, but they're thinking that if it starts in New York, that it can catch wildfire and go to other places. But it's supposed to start in New York.
Got you. Great names. A lot of obviously star fare going and spearheading this situation. But if I find it hard to believe that if you got a person they got the radar on, that they've been looking at for a while, and now this man or this woman happen to become a rapper, and they're rapping about things that correlate investigations, that they're going to say, oh, nah, this ain't a part of the investigation. They will find a way. Even though if a bill is passed, there will be some kind of stipulation or some kind of clause in there to go. But if we have evidence that correlates with an investigation, we are allowed to. I guarantee it. So looks great on the surface. Underneath, I don't think it's much to talk about.
Yeah, nah. I was talking about it yesterday. I was in the middle of it because I really didn't know how to answer. You answered that part well, but I was looking at it on the other side of things, and I agree with you. But like as far as people on the other side that are fake as hell. They all the stuff they rapping about is fake. You know that. But then they get hemmed up in something, and now they go back and use that against them when they really ain't even do nothing. I was looking at it from that side of the whole spectrum at the end of the day. So
let me ask you this then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Based off of that, will they have to go in there and tell them a lot of these rappers aren't who they say they are? A lot of these rappers are fake, and this is straight entertainment, and they don't mean what they say. Are they going to expose hip hop in a certain degree if they go in there and do that?
Yeah, I would say heck yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. But my thing is like, okay, I could see this is cool or whatever, but like, this is where you start fighting at. Maybe I would really like to ask one of them, if we ever got a chance to interview them,
right?
Why get behind this cause? Not saying that it's wrong or nothing like that, but this is where you start at. I just I don't know.
It's interesting. Like I said, on the surface, it sounds great. You know what I mean? It looks great in headlines and things like that. Another great thing that Jay-Z is spearheading, and it's no disrespect to him because he's doing a lot of great things, and I'm sure he's doing things behind the scenes that we don't even know about. But going to keep it 100 on this podcast, and it just on the surface is cool, but underneath is some questions. I don't know. Yeah,
and we'll definitely, we'll see how it goes, the future here. But like you said, man, it's just. That's a crazy situation.
I want to see where it goes. Are they going to expose hip hop? Are they going to go what you were kind of leaning on, or are they going to fight it from a different avenue? And what's going to be the reception from it? It's going to be interesting.
I think you would have to. I think you would kind of have to, and like at least bring up some examples. Like some of the stuff these rappers is rapping about is fictitious entertainment purposes only. But then the other thing I said is like, what about you say that at the end of the day, but what about the children and whatnot, and all the other people that are influenced by these fake ass rappers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing. I get it, but it's like, when somebody gonna say something about that part of it? Like, you worried about people getting used against people in court, but what about the other side, the collateral damage that it's having? Like, so pretty much you saying, all right, continue the bullshit, and we know hip hop is gonna be what it's gonna be, but continue the bullshit, push the bullshit out there, and let it keep affecting our kids negatively, but we worried about this shit being used against y'all in court. That's the kind of way I seen it. I was like, damn.
Great point. You got 8 to 12-year-old boys out here rapping these lyrics word for word and falling on these kid brothers' names and stuff, and ain't living the life that they living, but these broke kids think they are and doing what they doing, trying to get to where they at.
Right.
It's very dangerous and divisive, man, and that's not being brought up enough. Great point, y'all.
Yeah.